Hello everybody, thanks for checking out Writer's Underworld. Today I'm just going to brush off this video real quick. I wanted to talk about the ideal publishing company. This is a message I want to get out there. Even if I give up on YouTube, I want to have said this to somebody, and you are the somebody. I had a vision in my head over years and years of struggling with the traditional publishing industry and struggling with the independent publishing industry and eventually giving up. The whole time I had this vision, and it's based on the notion of unfairness, not just in publishing but in all of arts and entertainment. It's a supply and demand issue. They control the supply, they control the supply, they control the demand, and it's really unfair. And it's not just unfair to artists, it's also unfair to the audience and people who enjoy arts and entertainment, in our case literature. It's unfair to us because they are building walls between us and the audience, and it's for the profit, and it's unfair to the audience because the audience does not have access to myself, or perhaps you, or a lot of people like you and me, or whoever. The audience, there's people out there who would like to have access to our work, but there's no marketing plastering our name in lights, and there's no publicist getting out there and getting our message out to people. Maybe for you there's marketing, and for you there's a publicist, but for the majority of us there's no marketing, there's no publicist. Not only that, there's an issue with editorial staff. I've learned to do my own editing. I've got it down to a science, which a lot of people be like, that's impossible. You can't possibly do your own editing. I assure you, it's completely feasible. I don't know why people think it's so impossible. It's not easy, obviously not easy, but it is doable. But it would be nice to have access to editors. It would be nice to have access to beta readers. It would be nice to have access to typesetters, industry standard publishing capabilities, because I've always struggled with typesetting my books. And it'd be nice to have access to cover creators. Now we do. That's the one thing I support AI about, is because I can never find an artist to create covers for me. But using artificial intelligence, I've been able to, out of all these books, I have one cover that's cool. I have 15 books over here or whatever, and one of them has a cool cover. The other one is like whatever I can put on there, just slap it on there so I can make a book. But now that artificial intelligence came along, I have one cool book cover. But it would be nice for artists, and not only that, there's visual artists out there who would love to put book covers on books somewhere. They're out there. And so what am I driving toward? We would all like access to these resources. We do not have access to these resources. Oh, shadow puppet. But imagine a world where we did have access to these resources. And I'm gonna go a little bit communism on everybody. I'm a hard right conservative lately by necessity, but I used to be a hippie, and I have a lot of liberal values, and one of them is shared resources. And the supply and demand issue of controlling the supply and controlling the demand, and building walls between artists and audiences for profit. So they keep us out so that they can sell this. You go buy this. Don't buy all of that. This little bit here. You want to buy this. All of that is nothing. If any of that had any value, it would be over here. It's not over here. It has no value. But if you go look over here, where they're saying this has the value, there's a lot of garbage in there, and it's just whoever they can get behind. And it's really sad. Whoever people will buy what they are sold, and all this stuff over here is what is being sold, and that's what people buy. There's a lot of fantastic, miraculous creations on this side, way more than is over there, and nobody's ever going to know about it. It's going to disappear, it's going to go away forever, and that's the purpose of Writers Underworld, among others, is to raise awareness about unknown artists in the world. My baby's upset. She's been cranky all day. I don't know why, because I've been neglecting her, dealing with this new camera. But look, so my vision is a world where all writers, believe it or not, would have access to the same editing, the same beta readers, the same typesetters, the same cover creation, the same book production, the same marketing, the same publicity, and just to even things out. And you're going to say, how are we going to profit from that? Well, it's whoever rises to the top. Because my idea, my vision, I'm not expecting this will ever happen. I'm just saying it would be great that if it did happen, and it's something to think about. The cream would rise to the top if we all had equal access. Because what I've always observed is whoever's the best salesman, that's who's going to be selling. And whoever's got the best websites and the best angles for getting their name and message out there, and really whoever's up there over here already. Anyways, think about what they did with indie. When indie authors came out, it was just the successful indie authors were going to be successful industry standard authors. They just veered off at the last minute. It's not like people like you and me who became these like blown up sensations. They want you to think that, but it's just fake. And that kind of goes back to the first world, second world, third world. Like people like me, we're over here in the third world. We're not even part of it. But if you look at it, kind of bear with me. It's just a metaphor, not even a good one. But you kind of got the traditional standard as the first world, and then the indie publishers, they're the second world, and then somewhere in the middle, you can realize that they're the same thing. Look at China. China, they're pretending we're not capitalists, but they're making bank. They're making all the money in the world, pretending they're not capitalists. And that's kind of what indie authors are doing. The successful ones. I mean, I'm an indie author, but I don't even consider myself one because I gave up. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian for a little while, but I kind of realized, I don't want to go have to fight with all of these other comedians. I don't want to have to go into this place over and over again and getting them pushing and shoving on me and trying to stand on my head so that they can get a little bit higher and stomping me down. I was just like, no, I'm not feeling it, because I already felt that about being a writer, and I was like, I'm not going to do it with another thing. So I gave up on comedy because I didn't feel like dealing with it, and because I knew better, because I had given up on publishing, because I didn't feel like dealing with it. And this is not just for publishing. You could do this with everything. It should just be, and I mean, I'm always, not always, but lately, the more I think about it, I'm just like, the money, who cares about the money? Can we please not just forget about the money and just think about ourselves as creators, artists, writers, and because you get so sick of thinking about sales. I've sold all of maybe 10 books in my life, and it doesn't really, I'm so numb to the concept that it doesn't mean anything to me. And so, but even before I got to that point, I envisioned this thing, and I did envision, it's not like we're going to do it for nothing. There should be compensation, I guess, if you're selling, but who is going to create the thing? And I think, off the top of my head, it would have to be some kind of a collective effort. It would probably take all of us to create this thing, if people really wanted it to be like that. And it'd be worth it just to see the industry lose its mind, and then even the indie authors would lose their minds, and everyone would freak out. But there'd be people like me who, we'd be the ones to do it, because we'd be the ones who stand to benefit. Everybody else, they'd be spitting on it, hosing it down, throwing acid on it. They'd do everything they can to make it disappear. But for people like myself, it would be a tremendous blessing. So I hope you can pick up what I'm putting down is just equal access to all of it, the whole thing from beginning to end. Equal access, and don't just think about it for yourself. Think about it from the reader's perspective. I am a reader. I want to read the great everything that's great. And my whole life they've been pissing on me and telling me it's raining, and with reading these terrible books. Sometimes I read good books. I don't like reading bad books, but so often I'm reading bad books, it's hard to stomach because of how much I've been through, trying to crawl up out of the mud. And so that's kind of where my vision came from. But anyways, don't even think about it for yourself. Think about it for what do the readers of the world deserve. They deserve the best. Is the traditional industry standard the best? No. Is whoever's blowing up indies, because they're basically the traditional, standard, just, masquerading as indie? That's not what people deserve. People deserve excellence. And now, and since the dawn of time, the excellent among us have been getting crushed by the salespersons among us, because people will buy what they are sold, and they'll buy garbage if it's sold to them. But and then you get the pearls before swine scenario on the flip side of where you can put something in their face, and if they're not a big name, they're not going to be interested. My novels are fantastic. So many of them, not all of them, alright, let's be real, but a lot of them are excellent. And nobody would know it because there's no reviews on them, and there's nobody talking about it, there's nobody raining it down from on high. And that's what my vision would rectify. It's just equal access from beginning to end. That's my vision. And like I said, it's totally unrealistic. It's not the way of the world. It's a third world solution to a first world problem. But anyways, I hope that you'll at least meditate. Imagine a world where we had equal access to resources. And just something to think about. Alright, well, thanks for checking out Writers Underworld. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, or whatever. Or don't, obviously. Deuces.